Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's segment of OWA Live. We thought we would do something a little bit helpful. We've been having a lot of conversations about I bonds recently. And so we thought it would be good to talk a little bit about those I bonds and what they mean. If you had tuned into our market update, you would have heard Lynn talk about them. Right now, they're paying 9.6%. So really a fantastic return. We wanted to talk just a little bit about how these things work and what you should be paying attention to as you get into these things. There are some limitations and things like that that apply. So we'll need to go through and address that. And then I think at the end of this, we'll show you how to open up those accounts. You have to do that directly through Treasury Direct. So unfortunately, it's not something that we can help you with. But as long as you got a little bit of computer savvy, you should be able to get that done pretty easily. So let's do this. Let me do a screen share and talk about what an I bond is real quick. So an I bond is, well, it's a loan to the United States government. These I bonds are a little bit special because they are inflation linked. The I stands for inflation. The way that they calculate their interest, right now they're paying 9.6% as an annualized return. What they do is they take your fixed rate, which right now the fixed rate is pretty much zero, and they add in a form of inflation that we call consumer price index. And we know inflation has been high. So here over the next little while, it's going to be 9.6. They determine what this rate is 2 times a year. So usually in May and November, they'll go through and do this little calculation. And then anyone who buys one of these bonds between May and November is awarded that rate of return. So right now, it's a very attractive thing. Where in the world are you going to find government protected 9.6% returns? We think that makes a whole lot of sense. And we think a lot of people should be doing these. There are some limitations, though. So one of the major limitations is you're only able to put $10,000 a year per individual into one of these accounts. So I can do $10,000. Lindsay can do $10,000. It's not $10,000 per household. It's $10,000 per individual. You can also be gifting these to children if you'd like. Just as long as there's a heartbeat, $10,000 can go towards those purchases. You can also purchase a minimum of $25 with these I bonds. So for those of you who are saying, I don't really have $10,000 to throw into something like this, the minimum of it is very approachable, very reasonable. So we think that that's something you should be looking at too. There are some stipulations. You can't take money out in the first 12 months. These are completely illiquid in the first 12 months. So forget about that money at least for a year. And then from month 12 until month 60, if you decide to cash the thing out early, they'll penalize you with 3 months of interest. So just something to keep in mind if you're planning on using this money sometime in the next 5 years, that it could be a penalty on your withdrawal of up to 3 months of your interest. Not the end of the world. That doesn't concern us at all in the slightest, but it's good to know what you're getting into before you get into it. So how do you get these things? I want to show you real quick. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to do a different screen share here to the Treasury Direct website. So this is where you want to go in order to set these accounts up. This is treasurydirect.gov. Make sure that you go to this exact website because I think there's a lot of fraud going on. We want to make sure that we land in the right spot. So treasurydirect.gov, you click right here on open an account. Once you're here, they'll give you some quick identifying pieces, kind of what you need to look for, what you want to be doing. We want to do an individual or personal application. Now, for those of you with businesses, you can buy these for your business as well, your S Corp, your LLC. We want to click there on the Treasury Direct. There are 3 steps that we're going to follow. So the first step here, we've got to click this apply now. They do not do paper bonds. So for some of you are of an older vintage where you would collect those paper bonds and keep them in the file cabinet or the safety deposit box, they don't do that anymore. All of the bonds are held electronically through Treasury Direct. So here you can choose. Here are all the different options that we can look at. We just want an individual because that's what I am. That's what I want to buy. So we click submit here. The next thing that it opens up to is all of your account information. So you can go through here, you can type all your name, your social. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do all of this because I don't want everyone to know what my social security number and my bank account is, but you can take a look. It's pretty simple stuff. If you don't have this stuff readily available, like your bank name, your routing number, your account number, contact your bank before you go into this. But that should be able to, you should be able to see kind of all of that information here together. I'm going to pause the recording here real quick. Okay, so now I've gone through and put all of my information in, but I skipped through. So there's like a qualifications page where you can go through and review everything before you submit it. Then also you have to choose your personalized image or your caption. So I don't know which one I want. Let's go with the bungee cord. Just working on my brakes this weekend. You always have to use a bungee cord to keep the caliper up out of the way. And then you have to enter a caption. So this is going to be something that I recognize that I know is unique. So I'm going to put brake service. How about that? Brake service. That way I know every time I see that bungee cord, it reminds me of brake service. You can choose whatever you want to, just as long as it's a caption and a picture that you will recognize. Then you click submit. Next step is you want to choose a password. So in this case, you need to enter that password and re-enter it just to make sure that you put it in correctly. And we have to do security questions. Do this for yourself. Make sure that you've got 8 characters. You need uppercase letter, lowercase letter. You know how to do this stuff. And then for all of your security questions, make sure that you answer those. I think that they require 3. So choose 3 of those. They are case sensitive, so make sure that you answer them the same way. Okay, now that we're here, you can see we have everything all ready to go. Thank you for opening an account. We're sending you an email so that they can verify that information. Once that's all verified, you're able to go in and purchase those bonds. Now, I just received that email, so I'm going to click it over here in a different screen. They give you your own Treasury Direct account number. So that account number is one that's unique specifically to you. When you open up to Treasury Direct again, you'll have to make sure that you use that account number to open. So let me see real quick as I go here and open my account. I'll show you kind of what that looks like. Now, once you submit with your unique account number, which I'm realizing this is going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to close this out. But it'll kick you to this site where you need to put in a one-time password. Once you put in that one-time password, you have to actually click that password that you put in into this virtual keyboard. It's kind of a pain. I don't know why they do it that way. It might be for a phishing thing, but you've got to go through and click. It's not case sensitive. So as long as you put in the same letters, numbers, special characters, then you should be able to submit the account and open up and start trading treasuries. All right, now once we're in, it shows your online platform. And what you can do is you can click this buy direct. Hopefully this doesn't give away too much information, but here are all the different bonds that you can purchase through Treasury Direct. And we want Series I. That's what we're looking for. Series I bonds. We're going to click on this. We're going to click submit. Our banking information is probably going to be included here. Yep, so there's mine. You can put in a purchase amount for as little as 25 and as much as 10,000. So whatever amount you decide to put in, you can plug that in here. We're going to do a single purchase, but you could, if you wanted to, schedule repeat purchases where you buy weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly, whatever you want to do. I think for most of our clients, you're probably just going to buy one time. Once you put all that information in, you click submit, you're good to go. You'll be able to track your bonds, see how they perform and what they do from that point moving forward. So hopefully this was helpful. For any of you who might not be as computer savvy, please call into our office. We'd be happy to sit down and review this together with you. A very powerful tool, very effective tool to use right now that we would strongly suggest everyone consider, especially if we have a large amount of cash sitting on the sideline. If you've got money sitting in the bank that you think I need to do something with it, take $10,000, put it into I bonds right now. We think that that would be a very smart thing to do. Until next week, sorry for dragging you through the depths of a government website, because that's always the most fun thing to do. But until next time, we'll go through and review. If you have any questions or concerns on these I bonds, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for joining us with this segment of OWA Live, and we'll see you next week.